In the last few days, the calm waters of the southern Caribbean have transformed into the stage for a major show of naval power. Leading this buildup is the USS Lake Erie, a guided missile cruiser that has just crossed the Panama Canal. And joining it beneath the waves is the USS Newport News, a nuclear-powered fast-attack submarine. Together with a growing fleet of destroyers, amphibious assault ships, and thousands of Marines, these vessels represent one of the most significant U.S. deployments to the region in years. But why are they here? What exactly can these warships and submarines do? And could even more reinforcements be on the way? Let's dive deep into this dramatic buildup and break down every ship, every capability, and every possible outcome. At the center of this deployment is the USS Lake Erie, a Ticonderoga-class guided missile cruiser. Recently, it passed through the Panama Canal and joined the fleet already in position. The Lake Erie is essentially a floating fortress. It carries the Aegis Combat System, one of the most advanced naval defense networks in the world. Its vertical launch system can fire a wide variety of weapons, from long-range Tomahawk cruise missiles that can strike land targets hundreds of miles away to surface-to-air missiles designed to knock incoming threats out of the sky. This cruiser has already proven its capabilities in real-world tests, intercepting ballistic targets in past missions. Its presence in the Caribbean sends a very clear message. This is not a symbolic patrol. This is a ship built for decisive action. Supporting the Lake Erie are three Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, the USS Gravely, the USS Jason Dunham, and the USS Sampson. These destroyers are the workhorses of the U.S. Navy. Each one carries the Aegis system as well, along with advanced radar, sonar, and vertical launch systems. They are versatile. They can defend the fleet from air attacks, track submarines beneath the waves, or launch strikes at targets hundreds of miles away. Their mix of standard missiles, tomahawks, and torpedoes allows them to handle nearly any threat. In simple terms, if the cruiser is the command centerpiece, these destroyers are the loyal knights guarding its flanks. Fast, lethal, and ready for multiple missions at once. Perhaps the most intriguing part of this deployment is what we cannot see. Beneath the surface of the Caribbean is a nuclear-powered fast-attack submarine. While the Navy hasn't publicly listed every detail, reports identify it as the USS Newport News. This submarine represents silent power. It moves undetected, capable of launching Tomahawk cruise missiles with pinpoint accuracy. It also carries heavyweight torpedoes that can sink ships before they ever realize they are being hunted. Submarines like this are often described as ghosts of the sea, nearly invisible, always listening and ready to strike without warning. Its presence adds an unpredictable dimension to the buildup. While warships on the surface are visible demonstrations of force, a submarine adds hidden pressure, reminding everyone that there is always a threat lurking below. Now, let's move to the amphibious forces. The U.S. Navy has deployed the Iwima Amphibious Ready Group, a trio of large ships designed to carry Marines and put them ashore anywhere in the region. At the heart of this group is the USS Iwima, an amphibious assault ship that looks like a small aircraft carrier. It can operate helicopters, tiltrotor aircraft, and even vertical takeoff jets if needed. It carries a full Marine Expeditionary Unit on board, more than 2,000 Marines trained for rapid deployment. Alongside the Iwima are the USS San Antonio and the USS Fort Lauderdale, both amphibious transport docks. These ships are designed to launch landing craft and amphibious vehicles, carrying Marines and equipment ashore quickly. Together, the three ships form a highly flexible amphibious strike group, able to respond to crises ranging from evacuations to large-scale landings. When you combine their marine force with the heavy firepower of the cruiser, destroyers, and submarine, the fleet becomes a multi-dimensional powerhouse. But the surface and subsurface units aren't the only assets in play. High above, advanced patrol aircraft such as the P-8 Poseidon are providing surveillance and coordination. The P-8 is essentially a flying command post with the ability to detect ships, submarines, and even small vessels across vast distances. It can guide the warships below, track suspicious movements, and, if necessary, deploy its own weapons. With eyes in the sky, the fleet gains an enormous advantage in awareness and control. So the question remains, why now? Officially, this deployment is framed as part of a regional security operation focused on protecting maritime routes, but analysts are quick to point out the political backdrop. Venezuela, facing internal turmoil and leadership under Nicolas Maduro, views the U.S. presence as a direct provocation. Some experts argue this is an act of gunboat diplomacy, sending a message not only to Caracas, but to the entire region. The U.S. Navy can project overwhelming power at will. Others see it as reassurance to allies and partners nearby, demonstrating that Washington is willing to defend stability in the hemisphere. Whatever the interpretation, one thing is certain. This fleet isn't just passing by. It is positioned carefully, and it is designed to be noticed. Now the big question, will more ships be sent? At the moment, the fleet stands at 7 major surface combatants plus 1 submarine. That is already a formidable strike force. Analysts note that it rivals some entire national navies in size and capability. There's been no official announcement of further reinforcements, but military experts caution that additional units could be rotated in if tensions rise. Aircraft carriers, for instance, have not yet appeared in this deployment. If a carrier strike group were added, the balance of power would shift dramatically. For now, though, the presence of this many ships, cruisers, destroyers, amphibious assault ships, and a submarine already creates significant pressure and influence. All of these ships together carry an arsenal that covers every dimension of modern warfare. From their vertical launch systems, they can unleash Tomahawk cruise missiles capable of striking targets hundreds of miles inland with remarkable precision. Their standard missiles provide a shield overhead, intercepting aircraft or even ballistic threats before they can approach. For closer defense, they rely on evolved Sea Sparrow missiles and rapid-fire close-in weapon systems, which act as the last line of protection against anything that slips through. Beneath the surface, the nuclear submarine brings its own silent power, armed with heavyweight torpedoes that can take down enemy vessels without ever being detected. And let's not forget the Marines embarked on the amphibious group equipped with armored vehicles, artillery, and helicopters. They extend the reach of this naval force from the sea to the shore. Put together, this floating arsenal is not just about raw firepower, but about flexibility, the ability to respond decisively in the air, on land, across the sea, and even under it. As expected, Venezuela has condemned the arrival of these warships, calling it a violation of its sovereignty and an act of intimidation. Local state media portrays it as an imperial move. On the other hand, U.S. officials emphasize that the deployment is strictly about securing the region. Neighboring countries are watching closely. Some welcome the increased security presence, while others fear it could escalate tensions. The Caribbean has seen deployments before, but rarely on this scale with so many different types of warships working together. Subscribe and ring the notification bell. In our next episode, we'll explore how regional players like Colombia, Cuba, and Caribbean island nations are reacting to this show of force. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching.